We're delighted to have Dr. John Coyce join us at the BACD 15th Annual Conference, which is a sellout, so really thank you very much for coming over. Your lectures today has been absolutely fantastic. Just for those of us who have been here and those who haven't, could you just, one of the things I got was really it's managing risk is very important. Could you tell us about the importance of looking at the whole patient?
Sure, Chris, be happy to. I think, for me especially, risk-based treatment has been a passion of mine. It's been the core of our whole teaching philosophy for all the years that I've been trying to teach. But in essence, I think a take-home message on risk management is we're in the tooth mortality business, and our goal is to have patients' teeth outlive them. And there's only three reasons that really teeth fail. One is a biofilm-mediated disease. We know those well. That's called caries and periodontal disease. And I might add that caries, for example, is the disease of the person, not the tooth. The tooth has the result of the disease, a cavitation. And why that's important is many people don't realize when you do a restoration, you're not treating the disease, you're treating the result of the disease. So fillings, from a patient's point of view, don't really treat the disease, they treat the consequence. The second reason people lose teeth is environmentally mediated, especially in today's world, and that is a focus of erosion or chemical damage to the teeth from diet and stomach, or abrasion from any foreign objects that are now applied to the teeth. And it could be anything from foods to dentifrices and the like. And the third one, which is the actual primary goal of today, is occlusion that I call load-based problems. That's attrition, abfraction, or loss of tooth structure from, in essence, some inappropriate management of occlusion, which could be even growth and development.
Yeah. So leading into that, how important is occlusion in cosmetic dentistry?
So it's your first question was a perfect lead into this, because it's not hard to explain to the patient if in the process of trying to change the way their teeth look, and now we're adding length to the tooth structure or changing the looks of the teeth by adding length, many times we're putting the edges of the teeth in an area that might be in the way of whatever occlusal patterns they currently have, which are not easy for any form of technology to determine. This we call pathway. And the idea that makes this important is as you're trying to improve the patient's aesthetic outcome, you have to be cognizant of their functional outcome. Because the problem will be if we do that and we put edges of porcelain in the way, they won't fail by attrition, they'll fail by chipping and breaking, and then we'll see our hard work go downhill.
Yeah. I think what I've got from today is the importance of making the patient accountable for the stuff that's going on, and I really like that in the way that you've been presenting that. So
let me change one thing. I would say yes, making them accountable, but also to make them an advocate for their own dental health. And this becomes an area that is also important. It's improving oral literacy. And the idea is, how hard is it to say to a patient, Mr. Jones, if we just add length to the teeth without figuring out what you did to the teeth or why your teeth look like that, then I'm not really resolving your problems. I'm just changing the looks of the teeth only to have the same consequences.
Yeah, no, and that's fantastic. And that's very fresh, I think, as well. And so for all our delegates who are here today, and then maybe those who were unable to come, what would be your top tip or top two tips to take home from today?
I think some of the a lot of the occlusal training that we've been subjected to over the years, because we didn't maybe know better, was an occlusion that would be designed for more of an articulator than an actual person. And the point is, what my goal is to try to close the gap between occlusion on an articulator and how the occlusion works in a real person. And there are very big differences with those two systems and how you might change the design to improve the longevity or the survival probability of your restoration. And I might add, one of the things, it's not just porcelain chipping, it's overloading restorations that then have cement seal breakdown, recurrent caries underneath. And many people just think that's caries susceptibility when it's really an occlusal issue.
Well, thank you very much. And it's been an absolute honour having you over to BACD.
Thanks.
Thank you,
what a pleasure. What a pleasure.